y'all, welcome back to Live in the Flesh. Today we have Iamzoie, and he's on live watching the New Birth Baptist Church Sunday service, and this is a Father's Day special. Happy Father's Day to any of y'all that are fathers or fathers to be. In this service, the pastor's talking about betrayal and how we should respond to betrayal. A key message that he preached about was that you can only be betrayed by the people who are close to you, and how we should be careful around the people we surround ourselves with and let eat at our table. Because normally the people that we are close to and knows our struggles, when they betray us, it hurts more. But when it's the enemy, like, we already know that's going to happen, so it doesn't really faze us. But when it's like a loved one or a friend, it hurts more. So we need to learn to, not trust everybody who seems to act like they care, and actually put our trust in the Lord. But that was the main message of the service. If you're interested, make sure you continue watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. Let's go.
Necessity, but they understand that Malachi was right, that God loves a cheerful giver. The men of our church do is that we understand obedience is better than sacrifice. And so I want you to pull out your phone. You're able to do so electronically through PushPay, Text to Give on our own secure website. I want you giving right now. And here's where I want to stretch your faith. Because I want you to give a seed on behalf of your dad if he's gone on to be with the Lord. I want you to give a special, significant, substantive seed on behalf of your son who hasn't come into full consciousness of his own identity as of yet. I need you right now to begin sowing. Sisters, I need you. Please, I need you to begin sowing right now, because a seed is of no significance if it has no ground. A seed in my hand ain't going to do nothing. But a seed in soil is where it is that it begins to mushroom and take flight. A father can't be a father if there is no mother. There's got to be something in which I deposit the seed into. As a consequence, friends, here's what I need of you. Our men are sowing, our women are sowing, because we are one church in the body of Christ. We understand that in unity, there is nothing that we can accomplish. There's nothing that we cannot conquer. Would you begin sowing now? Would you begin giving now? If we were in physical church, I would have you on the back of the envelope writing the names of your dad. In this electronic virtual space, here it is in that memo section. I need you to begin giving, but I want you to write the name of your father in your giving memo, to let them know that I'm
okay. Let me turn the comments on. I think all the crazies left now. All the crazy folks gone.
Conduit into the earth. And God selected him out of 1 billion men. He said, "This is the man's seed I need to make you complete. I need you to have his hair. I need you to have his far-sighted eyes.
No, I cut the comments off when he preaches. I like us to interact during this part. I got this, friend. If you knew, sit back, be quiet.
That man that God needed you to have. I don't know what it was, but God needed you to come through him. And I want you to thank God for him by sowing that seed. I'm excited. I'll be worshiping on this day. But all week long, we are in revival. It is our full recovery crusade. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I want you to hang out with me. Tuesday, my little brother's going to be here, Smoking Norfolk. I need you now. You know Smoking Norfolk. He's going to be with us on Tuesday night. And I got to tell you this. Tuesday night, the guest preacher, Bishop Darren Moore, I wanted him to come. This is the preacher who preached my youth revival when I was a kid and gave my life to Christ. I wanted him to come full circle. Bishop W. Darren Moore of the Iamzoie Church is going to be with us on Wednesday night. I keep telling you, New Birth, we're a local church with a global impact. J.J. Harrison is going to be here on Wednesday night, and Tiffany going to be jumping around with him. It's going to be an amazing it's going to be an amazing night. Our guest preacher is flying here all the way from Belize. She's coming all the way. She is one of the rarest, rawest prophetic men. I'm telling you, this woman can see through brick walls. She's going to tell you what you ate for breakfast last Thursday. I mean, the anointing is just on her. And I want her to come. I wanted her to be a part, not just because of her prophetic mantle, but her ministry feeds more homeless children in Belize than any other entity. And I said, because we carry that same kind of spirit of feeding people, she's going to fit right in. It'll be her first time at New Birth, but I promise you it won't be her last time. Then Thursday night, we're going to be New Birth Church of God in Christ. It's going to be crazy. On Thursday night, the presiding bishop, the chief apostle of Kojic is coming, Bishop J. Drew Shear, and First Lady Karen Shear. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, I'm even wearing a black suit on Thursday. I'm going to be honorary coaching. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I want you to be a part of it. If you want to be in our studio, I want you to email us the availability of how you do it. It's got to be as quick as possible because seating is limited, but the glory is unlimited. Even if you can't be in here, the glory is going to meet you right where you are. Prepare yourself. We're going to the Word of God. Our music ministry is going to prepare us and prepare our hearts, our minds, and our spirit. We have been in a life-changing series on painkillers. That whatever pain you have been dealing with, God is going to deal with it. Last Sunday was absolutely amazing. This Sunday, God's going to take us even higher.
Some of you may not be aware of this, but America actually has 2 Independence Days.
Let my girl
One celebrates
sing.
America's freedom from Britain's rule, another holiday, Juneteenth.
I want to hear the singing in the word. Let's go. My puppy upstairs on the bed.
Now, you may be going to yourself like, wait, didn't the Emancipation Proclamation take care of that? And my answer to you is this. You actually thought the Confederate States obeyed the law. Okay, sure. On January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln declared all slaves held in Confederate States to be free. But that news never reached the Texas slaves, and there's many theories as to why. Maybe someone literally murdered the messenger that was sent to Texas to inform them. Maybe, in typical Confederate fashion, they withheld some information from the slaves. Some historians believe that since the Civil War wasn't over yet, that the lack of Union Army presence in Texas made it hard for Lincoln's proclamation to be enforced. Nonetheless, it was cotton-picking business as usual in Texas despite the proclamation. Some slave owners in neighboring states moved their slaves to Texas because they thought that the Confederate Army would eventually win the war, and when it was over, they could get their property back. So when Union General Gordon Granger rode into Galveston, Texas with Union soldiers behind him, and he saw all of these slaves, he decided to make an announcement on June 19, 1865. First off, a proclamation was made from the president to free all these slaves 2.5 years ago. Second off, you are no longer slave owners and slaves, you are employers, and those are your hired workers. Some slaves did get there before Granger could even finish his announcement. Other slaves decided to go and leave the state so that they could repair their families that were torn apart from the slave trade. Others decided to flee up north. And they lived happily ever after, right? No, of course not. By law, they were free men and women. But in reality, they were enslaved by oppression and violence. Black bodies still hung from the branches. Some were even shot for their freedom. But free men and women wanted to celebrate that they were just that, free. They created a holiday that was originally called June the 19th. But then it was kind of squeezed together and now it's Juneteenth. When they wanted to celebrate the first annual Juneteenth, segregation laws forbade them from using public spaces. Okay, that's fine. We'll celebrate near rivers and lakes. They dressed in fanciest clothes so they could combat laws that required them to wear ragged clothing. They ate barbecues, sung spirituals, preached religious sermons. Strawberry soda was the drink of choice, and they also ate a lot of red fruits and desserts like strawberry pie and red velvet cake to commemorate the blood that was spilled during slavery. These rituals still occur in today's Juneteenth celebrations, whether it be parades, cookouts, or 5-day festivals. And since whites didn't want to share their own spaces with blacks decided that they would raise their own funds for their own celebration sites, such as Emancipation Park in Houston, Texas. So as the former Texas slaves decided to migrate across the country, so did the importance of Juneteenth, which is also known as Emancipation Day or Freedom Day. Whitewashed textbooks didn't, and still don't, mention Juneteenth. Because of that, a lot of people are still finding out about Juneteenth. So whether you found out about Juneteenth decades ago, a few weeks ago, or even just now, don't worry. There'll be plenty of cookouts, parades, and festivals to celebrate the resiliency of the Black community. I'm Star Dedican with Record.
Come on, I love that she sings.
Can we worship this together now? Can you lift up your hands wherever you are?
Come on, friend.
And just love on him. He's an incredible
Come on, friend. Give me what I need today.
Incredible praise. Let's sing it together, family. Let's declare it. Come on. Sing with you, Lord. You are. He's so worthy. Yes. And no one can worship you for me. I won't allow it. Thank you, Lord. For all of the things that you've done for me. He's done so much, we can't even tell it all. Thank you, Lord. No one will worship you for me. Jesus. So this is what we give him. Let's give it to him together. Say, here's my worship. Yes. All of my, I'm not withholding nothing. I just want you to receive what I have to give to you. That's it, come on. All of my worship. Let's do it again. Come on, you sing it with us. Here's my worship. Yes. All of my worship. Yes, God. Say, receive my worship. Yeah. All of my. Come on, let's do it again, everybody. Sing you, Lord. He's worthy. Yes, he is. I know I will worship you for me. Nobody will do it. And I worship you for all of the things you've done. All of the things you've done for me. Thank you, Lord. No one can worship you for me. Yes, yes, Lord. So let's give it to him again. Come on, everybody, let's give it. Here's my worship. Sing all of my worship. Tell him receive my worship, yes. All of my, oh, here's my worship. Say, yes, Lord, all of my, praise, receive my, come on. Yes, Lord, all of my, lift it up, come on. Here's my worship.
Okay, I had to go check on my dog.
All of my worship. Yes, Lord. Tell him receive my worship. As I lift my hands, receive it, Jesus. Yes, Lord. Here's my worship. Say, Jesus, Jesus. Yes, all of mine. Tell him receive it, Lord. All of my worship. your words. You gotta open your mouth and worship him. Come on, baby, worship him. Let's worship him in spirit and in truth. And as long as I'm breathing,
You better sing, friend.
now this morning, as long as we're breathing, we'll worship you in the good times and the bad times, in and out of season. Our worship belongs to you. Come on, one more time, everybody. Say, I will not be. Come on, declare it wherever you are. Declare it. I will always. Yes, always. Every day in my life, and as long as I am.
I'm ready. Okay, you guys, I'm about to turn the comments off. And yeah, so here we go. Alright.
Would you go to your Bible app? I want you to open it up and go to the book of Psalms. Psalm 41, verse 9. Psalm 41, verse 9. We're continuing our series on painkillers. Psalm 41, verse 9. I don't know how you feel about it, but I am so excited about revival this week. I mean, the pandemic has been draining.
Right.
I need a booster shot. I believe that these 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, are going to give me and you everything we need to be able to move through it. Psalm 41, verse 9. Hear what David says.
Oh, crap.
Even my close friend.
See, I can see it.
Someone I trusted. Somebody who sat at my table and ate my food has turned against me. You may be seated. Even my close friend, someone I trusted, somebody who sat at my table, ate my food, that's who turned against me.
That is so true.
I want to preach it. I want you to type this in the chat if it resonates with you. Here's what the Holy Spirit gave me to preach to you.
Type it, y'all.
I can't believe they did this to me.
I can't believe they did this to me.
I can't believe they did this to me. Place in America's Olympics of oppression. The medal is a coin toss between the African Americans. What was the lesson? That for generations the Cherokee tribe was meaning to impart.
All right, y'all got that.
But it makes all of its 12-year-olds during their rites of passage memorize the story about the little boy who was walking down a path and ran into a rattlesnake. The little boy is walking down the path, runs into a rattlesnake, and the snake was getting old and pleaded with the lad, "Can you please take me to the mountaintop? I'm getting old," the snake said, "and I want to see the sunset one last time before I die." The little boy answered dismissively, "No, Mr. Rattlesnake, I can't pick you up because if I pick you up, you'll bite me and I'll die." The rattlesnake said, "I promise you I will not bite you. Can you please just take me to the mountaintop so I can see the sunset one last time?" The little boy thought about it and decided to pick up the snake and take him to the mountaintop.
He gonna bite
They
him.
sat there together,
He gonna bite him.
the little boy and the rattlesnake. and they watched the sunset. It was a beautiful sight, a magical moment. When the sun had cascaded down, the snake turned and said to the little boy, "Will you take me home now? Because I'm old and I'm tired." The little boy said, "I'll do it, but let's rest here first." They went to bed. The next morning, the little boy got up and picked up the snake and took him on home. Halfway home, while everything was seemingly going well, the snake bit the little boy. And he cried out in agony, "Mr. Snake, why would you do that after I took you to a level you've never been? Why would you do that after we shared precious memories?
Come on.
Why would you do that knowing what you just did was going to hurt me and potentially kill me?" The snake slyly responded, "You knew what I was when you picked me up."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
While I feel bad for the little boy, I'm perplexed as to what to prescribe for those of you who have been bitten because you never knew it was a snake you were dealing with. How are you to know when there are over 3,000 variations of the species?
Hello?
To be clear, I'm not talking about pythons and cobras and anacondas. I'm talking about the kind of snake that would borrow your car to drive to see somebody else.
Oh, you better come on, Jamal.
I'm talking about the kind of snake that will pretend to love you
Come on.
when in actuality they really don't like you.
Come on, Jamal.
I'm talking about the kind of snake that will laugh with you in the break room
Right.
and then turn on you in the boardroom. I'm talking about the kind of snake that will borrow your clothes and then strip tease your secrets to your enemies.
Hello.
The only way the snake could bite the little boy, hear this, is he had to be close to him. If you're not going to write down anything else, I need you to write this down. You can only be betrayed by people who are close. People who don't have access to you
Can't betray you.
will never be in proximity of betrayal.
Right.
But the people who have left the deepest, darkest wounds of betrayal
Are the ones you love.
are the people who you spent quality time with.
Hello.
You had memories with, inside jokes, share laughs with, had favorite songs, hear this, struggled with. And it's because you got close that the wound hurts so bad.
Right.
There's an old Amish axiom that says, never worry about your enemies.
Yes.
Here's what the Amish people say. Never worry about your enemies, because if anything happens to you, they will be the first suspects. Worry about your friends, because nobody will ever suspect them.
Hello.
You got to be careful, family, because all snakes are not low down. In Sri Lanka, there's a snake called the Chalipa, which is a flying snake. They're dangerous because they're low down, but they can rise high. A lot of snakes think that they are fly. I'm not talking about the cicadas in the District of Columbia, but they are snakes in the Senate. Just this week, they passed a law to make Juneteenth a national holiday, but they would dare not even discuss reparations.
Come on,
Talking
Jamal.
about the same snakes. Before you pull out your grill to celebrate Juneteenth, this same Senate that won't do anything about aggressive policing but unanimously will stop Asian hate, but won't do anything about the hatred of black people. Gotta look out for snakes. Gotta look out for this same Senate group that unanimously voted for Juneteenth, but twice refused to indict Trump. Same Senate that won't flush the filibuster. Same Senate that will fund Israel and turn its back on Palestine. I want you to know that Ecclesiastes was right. There's nothing new under the sun. Watch what God says to Moses before deliverance can happen. He tells Moses, pick the snake up by the tail. Why? Because this is the end of you hurting me. I need you to know, whatever snake bit you before will never get the opportunity again. I hope they got the blood they needed to sustain them.
Hello?
Because if you thought feeding off of me was going to be able to keep you for the rest of the year, I am not PPE.
Hey!
There's another grace that is on my life. You will not get another chance to bite me. I better say that to your enemies, to your haters, and even to the demon assigned to you.
You will not get another
My mistake was not recognizing you. And I need you to be mindful of the fact that the snake that addressed Eve was not slithering. It is not until he ran up on Eve that he lost his feet. I need you to know, whoever got away with it before will never stand again. Whoever it is that thought that they could in fact suffocate the life, the joy, the peace, and the self-esteem out of you, they need to know they missed their shot.
Come on!
The Garden of Eden, even after they ate of the forbidden fruit, God said something that I think that we have lost sight of. He said that the head of the serpent will be crushed. Hallelujah. You don't even understand that the authority that rests on your life is not for cars. The authority on your life is not for six-figure income. The authority on your life is to disrupt what has been designed to bite you.
Talk to him.
At some point in your life, you got to put your foot down and say, I am not going to play the fool twice. You got me once, but I promise you this, it ain't ever going to happen again.
Talk to him.
And I need some real people that got experiences dealing with some snakes and understand now. I know when I hear their hiss. You can't lie to me and think I'm just going to fall for it. I hear your hiss.
It's hard sometimes.
You ain't going to manipulate me with your kind words. Yeah, I hear your hiss. I don't need your compliments for the affirmation of who I am. I done dealt with enough snakes, and all snakes ain't on the plane. Some snakes are in the church, but God said today I got to mow the grass so that the snakes will be revealed. William Blake said, here's what William Blake said: it's easier to forgive an enemy than a friend.
It says so.
It's easier to forgive an enemy than it is to forgive a friend.
You expect it from an enemy.
Betrayal at its core is treachery. Betrayal is deception. Betrayal, hear this, is violated trust. It shows up, betrayal does, it shows up as a broken promise. Betrayal is duplicitous. Betrayal comes in the form of a lie. Betrayal, hear this, is the truth you didn't tell. Betrayal is a secret liaison. Betrayal is an affair that is not necessarily sexual. You had an affair by hanging out with who you knew was my enemy. The injury of betrayal can be so ghastly that some never find the strength to recover.
That's so true.
So because of betrayal, they've sworn off, I'll never get remarried.
You gotta be careful.
Because of betrayal, I don't trust no one.
Come on.
Because of betrayal, that's why I don't hang out with
anybody. Yes.
You don't even know that you are speaking out of your trauma.
Woo.
And not out of the expectation of your wholeness.
That's true.
Betrayal is so abiding and pervasive that even though we were betrayed, catch this, we were the ones betrayed, but we kick ourselves. How did you betray me and I'm mad?
Yes! Come on!
We kick ourselves because I can't believe I let my guard down.
Right!
Can't believe I allowed you into my space.
Yes.
I feel crazy.
Because I knew better.
Because I let you get close to my kid. We become psychologically and emotionally intimate. So betrayal is psychological rape.
Jesus.
You took it against my will.
Oh, my God.
I never gave you permission. I believe you had my back and didn't know you had it with a knife. Betrayal upends my security. Betrayal represents a traumatic death, not of a person, but it is the traumatic death of a relationship.
Yes.
You are watching me right now, and you should have on black pajamas because you're still in grieving over the death of a friendship. The death of a relationship. Hear this. You don't even know what it means to have the death of a mother that's still living.
Wow.
Because you felt betrayed. It hurts at a different level. Because even though you did it to me, I blame myself. And so people who have been betrayed have escapades with depression. I've been betrayed, and so now I feel numb. I don't feel anything. It comes out other side because you've been betrayed. You exercise hyper suspicion. You don't trust who you just met.
Right. And they can be so perfect.
You launching investigations on somebody who don't fit the profile.
Right.
Because you've been betrayed. You're going through withdrawal even though you never made a deposit. Because you've been betrayed, you keep replaying moments. And you keep looking for signs when God hadn't even flashed the light.
Hello.
Betrayal is so heavy that I don't even know how to pray about it. Don't even know how to pray through it. Don't even know how to pray for it. Betrayal starts messing with your brain. And all the more it messes with your soul. In Psalm 41, we cross over the yellow tape of a crime scene. David has stepped out with another man's wife, a woman by the name of Bathsheba. Not only does he sleep with her, he gets her pregnant. Then to cover up the crime, he kills the woman's husband, Uriah. And now everybody knows about it. And I'm with David. In verse number 4, Psalm 41, I'm with David. Lord, have mercy on me. Because David is showing us you can be anointed and mess up.
Talk to him, Jamal, because these folks was in the comment trying to talk about you.
Destiny and still have bad decisions.
Yes. See, nobody's perfect.
I need everybody in this room to lift up that hand. Only if you're anointed, lift up that hand and cry out loud, Lord, have mercy
Lord,
on
have
me.
mercy on me.
Yeah, some stuff I said, some stuff I did, some things I participated in. He should have killed me right there. You mean to tell me you sitting there with your arms folded like you ain't never done nothing, like you ain't never slept with nobody, like you ain't never been in the wrong place, like you ain't never been in the wrong environment, like you ain't never perpetuated the wrong room, been part of some elaborate lie, like you ain't never to cover up your own stuff. I need to be honest and don't say Lord, have mercy on me.
I like how you threw yourself in there.
Verse number 7, it gets tight because he says, all of my enemies are whispering against me. I need you to know when you are anointed, when you are destined, adjust to being talked about. If you want to be liked, sell ice cream. When you know the call of your life is controversial. I better say that to somebody. The call of your life does not come with an explanation or an apology.
Hello.
Because what God has put on you, you never prayed for, asked for, or trained for.
Come on.
He just deposited into your life. Lord, have mercy on me, because my enemies are saying all kind of stuff about me. Here's what he says in verse number 7. They imagine the worst for me.
Come on.
I want to say to you, whatever your enemies thought was going to happen to you,
They didn't take me.
it is not going to happen.
Come on, Jamal.
Whatever they hope is going to, you are not going to fall off. Anytime they see your head down, it's only because you bowed it.
Hey!
Whenever they think you're going to fold, it must be because you at the laundromat.
Oh,
There is something about your life that no matter what they plan, it is not going to manifest.
come on.
Because no weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. He said, my enemies are so desperate that they're making up rumors about me.
Talk to me.
They think that I'm sick and I'll never recover. I need you to lay hands on yourself and tell yourself, I will recover all. I will recover. I need you to say it with conviction. I need you to say it robust. I need you to say it with authority. Do you know how crazy your faith is? I'm saying I'll recover all, watch this, while I'm guilty. I'm saying I'm going to recover all when I know I did wrong. I'm saying I'm going to recover all when I know God justifiably should wipe me out. But in spite of all of it, His grace and His mercy is going to cover me through it.
Hey!
I will
Y'all ain't listening
recover
to
all. I'm in verse number 9. And verse number 9 comes to the rising climax of our text. In verse number 9, he says, my close friends, hallelujah, my close friends who ate, here it is, not at Cheesecake Factory with me, not at Capitol Grill, they were sitting in my house. God, I can't hear nobody in here. They was eating the food that I prepared.
Hey!
God, I can't hear nobody in here. God told me to tell you this week, God, this week I need you to do me a favor. I'm asking you this as your pastor. This week I need you to do me a favor. As a matter of fact, it's a busy week. You in revival this week. You got so much to do. I need you between Juneteenth and July 4th. I need you to do me a favor, please. I need you to take yourself to lunch. Hallelujah. I need you to take yourself to lunch, and I need you to sit across the table and remind yourself that you're never going to let them sit with you again. Why do you want me to do that? I need to do that so I never get tempted to go back. I'd rather eat by myself than eat with somebody that's got a knife that is aimed at me. You're not going to lose your appetite. Why? He prepares a table in the presence of my enemies. Table for one, please. Is anybody joining you? No, it's just me and my God. Because if God be for me, who can be against?
Come on, Jamal!
Hallelujah.
You better come through.
I'm okay.
Me too.
Only retarded people can eat by themselves. I need you to elbow somebody around there and tell them I used to not be able to. I used to be preoccupied about what other people would think and what other people will say. But they don't know I've been at enough tables that in this season of my life, I do not want to sit at a table where they're going to talk about me when I leave. I'd rather be at a table where I can be at peace, where I know the joy of the Lord is my strength. Hallelujah.
Hey.
So my close friends ate at my table, ate my food.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
They're the ones that betrayed me. I'm here with 50 riding down worshipers. I need 50 of y'all to just shout out loud, I'm still gonna eat.
I'm still gonna
Come on, I need you to say it again, I'm still gonna eat.
I'm still
In
gonna
other
eat.
words, I am not gonna lose my appetite over what Negroes got to say. I am not gonna lose my appetite. But you think I ain't gonna make it without you. I'm still gonna eat.
Yeah.
Hold on. My time is up. But I got to give you this one verse.
What is it?
In Psalm 41. Verse number 11. Let's go home. Hallelujah.
Come on, Jamal.
Verse 11. Psalm 41. Here's what it says. I want you to get it. Verse number 11 of Psalm 41. This is your scripture for the rest of this week. But my enemies will not have victory over me. Y'all didn't hear what I just said. I can't believe they did that to me. But here's for 5 streamers. They not going to believe what he about to do for me. Because they meant it for evil. But God is going to work it out for my good. I need somebody that's thankful that the enemy is not going to have the last laugh.
Come on.
But tables are getting ready to turn. That they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. On wings as eagles. They'll run and not get weary. They'll walk and not faint. If you're in the studio, look at somebody. And I need you to tell somebody, I can't believe what they did to me. Come on, look at them. Tell them I can't believe how they betrayed me. Look at somebody and tell them I was too good of a friend. I was too good of a woman. I was too good of a man to be treated like that. Look at that neighbor and say, I gotta be honest with you. It hurt me and it hurt me bad. But do me a favor. Give me till Wednesday. By Wednesday, I'ma pull myself together. By Wednesday, I'm not gonna cry over this no more. By Wednesday, I'ma come out of my feelings. It may take me a while, but by Wednesday,
I'ma be alright.
Feel better. So much better. Ever since
You said You said
give somebody a hand a high five. And tell them Wednesday I'll be better.
Y'all better type, I'll be better.
Wednesday I ain't gonna cry about it. Wednesday I'ma unfollow them. Wednesday I'ma block their number. Wednesday don't even discuss their name.
Don't even talk about
I'll be
it.
healed.
Let it go.
By Wednesday, I promise you,
I'ma be alright.
I can't believe they did this to me. When the only thing I tried to do was help them.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Can't believe they would do this to me.
He did it today.
When the only thing I did was love somebody who didn't deserve it. I can't believe they did this to me. When I came to them with clean hands and a pure heart. But they weren't used to real friends.
Right.
I can't believe
Because somebody did it to them.
when I'm their own flesh and blood.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Can't believe they would do this to me when I told them about the trauma of my
I've
past.
already been through.
And they would use the exact same stuff to hold it over my head. I can't believe you did this to me. When I confided with you about where my wounds are, and you still pulled the scab off and watched me bleed. I said, you can't believe it. But the blessing I have in store for you, your own family ain't gonna believe it. God, I wish I had some praises in here. How many of y'all know your next blessing, you ain't even gonna believe it? I ain't never seen God do nothing like this. I can't believe this is what eyes have not seen. But ears have not heard. Lift up that hand. I want to pray for you. Because I feel with every fiber of my being that there are those of you who have been wounded by betrayal. Isn't it amazing, all my years in church, never seen an altar call for people who've been betrayed. Isn't it amazing, all the times I've been in revival, they ain't never laid hands on people who've been betrayed. I'm telling you, in this pandemic, it's been prayer calls for everything. I ain't never seen no 6 a.m. prayer call for the betrayed. Today, God says, I'm putting you back together. Because you should have never seen it. Here's your shout. And your children will never see it. I speak over every lifted hand that you will have full recovery from every diabolical act of betrayal. I don't know who it is that went behind you trying to talk to your man. I don't know who it is sent you a text by accident. I don't know who it is that didn't even get the memo from Oprah Winfrey, who said, you can't be my friend if you want to be me. Get in your mind that Judas betrayed Jesus. And his betrayal was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm thankful for whatever you went through in this lot of life that brought you through betrayal. But you shall recover from it. You're going to be fine at tables alone.
Right.
God is purging them out of your system and out of your spirit. And he's getting you ready for your next level. Lift that hand high to receive it. God says, I'm going to bless you, even though I know you're broken. I'm going to bless you, even though you have fallen short. I'm going to bless you when you know you are not worthy of my goodness. So I speak over every lifted hand that God will give you a force field around betrayal. Not that you won't ever be betrayed, but that you will recover quicker. You'll recover faster. You'll recover stronger. Why? Because you were built for this.
Hello?
I speak it over your life. I speak it over your loved ones. I speak it over your circle. That whoever is close to you will never be demonically imposed to betray your trust.
Come on.
To betray your confidence and to betray your security. And those of you, here it is, who know in this moment that God is healing you from betrayal. I want you to give God glory for it right now. If you know that he's healing you from it, come on, do better than that. I'm talking about unaddressed pain, unaddressed issues, undiscovered problems. God says, I'm going back into the reservoir of your memory bank to deal with it. Wherever it is that you are, I need you to know, I know that Father's Day is a heavy day for a lot of people. I know it's a weighty day for a lot of people. I know some of you are glad you are not physically in church. Father's Day, Mother's Day makes you uncomfortable, but I want to tell you that our Heavenly Father will never betray you.
Right.
So one thing I can tell you about our Heavenly Father, whatever he says, it will come to pass.
So true.
Whatever it is that he speaks, it will begin to manifest. The amazing thing about adoption, here it is that in adoption, you may not even know adoption is better than natural birth. Pastor, help me. I said adoption is better than natural birth. In natural birth, you don't know what's coming out. You don't know what the issues are. You don't even know what it's going to look like. But in adoption, you already know what it looks like. Already know where the problems are. Already know the genetic code. But you still make the decision
to get
anyway.
I want,
We were adopted by grace.
Come on.
He knew our problems.
Yes.
Knew our weaknesses. Knew our brokenness. Knew our sin nature.
But he wanted us anyway.
But still took us in.
Come on.
And claims us as his own.
Come on.
This is New Birth's adoption agency. I want you to come under foster care. All of us in this house are wards of the state of heaven. And heaven has to make sure that I've never seen the righteous forsaken or the seed begging for bread. If you need a church home, you need a ministry to adopt you, you need a covering that you can be connected to. New Birth is that church. This is your home. And I want you to be plugged into the Heavenly Father. I want you to tell everybody, I found my daddy today. I want you to tell the world, me and my daddy got it right today. I want you to go to work, be on that Zoom this week. Say, y'all ain't gonna believe what happened. I felt my Father's presence today. Talking about the Heavenly Father. All of the prompts for you to join the church, all of the prompts for you to get saved are right below me, right beneath me. I ask that you will please follow them. I want you to be a member of New Birth. I want to be your pastor. Do me a favor, please. I want you to do this. It is often said that God picks your family, but you pick your friends. Some of us wish that was in the reverse. But God picks your family, and you get to pick your friends. God chose Mary and Joseph, but Jesus chose the 12 disciples. I'm believing that God is going to help you do a better job of choosing people who are not snakes.
Come on.
Believing that God is going to help you choose people to be in your intimate space in life with, who you can lay it all down, let your hair down, who you can be free without any fear of reprisal. I need you to do me a favor. I know this is a quirky request, but I want you to sow a seed. Hear this. On behalf of the people that are getting ready to come into your life. I want to challenge you to give a seed, if you will, of $12.
That's so good.
That's all
today,
I'm asking for this day. It's $12. Every person, I want you to do it. And God is going to help you choose. Isn't it amazing that Jesus chose a doctor, chose a lawyer, chose an accountant? Because he said, I got to choose people who are going to cover and handle every area of my life. I want you to make better decisions in whom you choose to spend your life with.
Yes.
I want to go a step further. I want you to be more shrewd about who you allow to spend time with
you. Yes.
What's the point of you having a conversation and you not sure what you can say?
Yes.
That's not a table or a phone call you should be a part of. And so I want to challenge you right now that you would sow that seed of $12. We're believing God to do something amazing in your life, and the healing is going to happen. Hear this. He's going to do it by Wednesday. That you're going to be so healed, so whole, and so helped that I'm telling you, you're not even going to recognize your former weaker self. I'll see you this week in Revival, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's going to be amazing. Right on the platform you're watching me right now. Watch God do it. Stay tuned. We got some amazing things that are getting ready to happen. It's getting ready to get better for you. Happy Juneteenth. Come on, let's celebrate together.
Okay, y'all. All right, you guys, that was a great service. The reason I started crying is because it is so true. Like, I've been through all of that he said, and to know that I'm still okay and I didn't allow what was set out to break me to allow it to break me, it is so true. Because people they'll try to tear you down. They'll try to talk about you. They'll try to misuse you, use you, abuse you, everything. And it's set to destroy you because of what they've been destroyed by. But it's just up to you to, say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this no more. I'm going to be good and I'm going to make it. And that's what I did. And I didn't allow those traps to trap me. And like I tell my friends, we have to be more cautious of who you allow in your circle. I mean, everybody's not meant to be your friend. Everybody's not meant to be your boyfriend or around you. That's why I tell people, you can't just, when people say, oh, it's okay to date around, date. No, sometimes we like to grab the wheel and drive when God is already driving for us. So we'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You got to let them learn. Sometimes your parents will tell you this isn't good for you. You know how back in the day, your mama always been like, That's not a good friend. Or your daddy will be like, hey, don't hang out with those boys. You know what I'm saying? And we want to sit here and be like, well, but I know. And then folks will be like, well, just let them go through it. Sometimes God is trying to drive and protect you from going through things. But we want to do what we want to do. And then it allows us to become broken. And what he said, where we start to like, I don't trust folks. You know how now with black men, I don't trust cops. Forget cops. Or white people be like, all black folks are bad because of one experience. You know what I'm saying? So now we have trauma and hate and whatever, when you need to just let go and just be mindful and careful who you choose to let around in your circle. You know what I'm saying? Or who you tell your business to, or who you allow to, like he said, to eat with you. And when you let those people go, you let them go. Let them go. Don't hate them. Don't wish any ill on them. That's why when people be like, nah, I got to get them back because they did this to me, or, you know what people be saying when they get mad at folks. So just let them go. And be like, you know what? What you set to destroy me is not going to be your victory. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to win in the end, and not winning by, retaliating or going back telling folks, yeah, they did this to me. I can't believe they did this. They ain't no good. But no, let it go and move on. And then you learn from it and you just keep going. Wish best for them. Pray that they become a better person, and watch how you letting that go and not wishing ill on them will make you better, and your blessings will come better because you're not holding malice in your heart and hate in your heart. So that's why people like, and just because a lover, a man, or a woman, whatever, cheats on you or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? You can forgive them, but it doesn't mean you have to still hang around them. And that's what a lot of my female cousins deal with, and myself. We allow somebody to do what's wrong, but then you still want to hang around them because you think, I still got to be their friend. No, you don't. You just forgive them and let them go, because then you might slip up. You already knew it was a snake and it bit you the first time. Why are you going to let that snake bite you again? You know what I'm saying? That person didn't change in 2 weeks. That man or woman didn't change in 3 months. They didn't. So why are you going to believe that I'm sorry? Forgive me. You can forgive them, but let them go. You know what I'm saying? Because you like he said, you let your guard down. You didn't do nothing wrong. It was not you. So let it go. Let it go. And hopefully the next person that they run into, you know what I'm saying, they can do right by that person. And don't get upset if they do right by that person. That just means now that person, can be happy with them. It's okay. Your person is coming. Your person is coming. You just wasn't supposed to be with that person. So I don't know. But don't ever wish bad on nobody, y'all. And whatever you're going through, like he said, it's okay to eat alone. I do. I go out, I eat by myself. I love myself. And like he said, when you allow what people did to you to fester and to build, it'll cause depression. And you're sitting here wondering, why am I depressed? I don't know why I'm depressed. I got depression. It's because you're holding on to stuff. That's why and I know this is a touchy one, so I'm going to stay and keep it moving. That's why when I say I don't believe in depression, I know people can be depressed. And some people say it's a chemical imbalance brain thing. But to me, I feel it's what we allow to fester in our body, what we allow to sit and soak up like a sponge. And the hardest thing he said is for us to let stuff go. And then when things keep happening and happening, we got to ask ourselves, sometimes, even because when you're depressed, your mind can get cloudy. So you have to ask yourself, why am I here? Why am I depressed? Is it because of money? Is it because of love? Is it because of friendship? Is it because of my upbringing? What is it? Why am I here? And why can't I get out of it? And then once you can get there and get to that point, let that go. Let it go. Let it go. And I promise you'll be better. And I tell people, even when you're in your depression moments, even when you're down, you still got to say, you know what? I'm out of this. I'm out of my depression. I'm out of, letting people use me. I'm out of it. And the more you speak something, it will happen. It is something that needs to change. Yes. So, I love you guys. I love you guys. And that's the one thing we need to do. The word, our little word today is let it go. But hard to let stuff go. It is. But that's why I was crying, because I've been through all that, and I know that I'm still good to this day. Like I could, child, the stuff I've been through. I'm not saying that my stuff is worse than nobody's, because whatever you're going through, it's worse to you. So I hate when people be like, there's people out there with bigger problems than you. Yeah, their problems are big, but in that moment, to me, my problem was big. So I went through a lot that people put me through, and I could have gave up. I could have said, screw social media. I could have soaked in my tears and depression and allowed myself just to wreck. You know what I'm saying? But I did it. I got up and I said, you know what? I'm going to show you. And that's what I did. Like, and oh God, y'all, I promise you, when my ex had cheated on me with my best friend, I told myself, I said, I want my ex to remember me. I want them to see me every day. I said about all my exes, I said, I want them to see me every day. And I kid you not, I got on Wild 'N Out. I'm on Instagram. My videos are viral, and my exes are seeing me every day. And I'm just like, in the end, I won. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where you sitting at right now. I don't know if you struggling. I don't know who you with. I don't know if you're happy, sad, but guess what? You see me and you see I am okay. So I just, like I said, that's why I really believe in manifestation. I really believe in speaking what you deserve. I believe it. Like I tell y'all that all the time. God always says, tell your blessings. I always said I wanted that first apartment. I got it. I've always said I wanted Mustangs. Girl, I done had 3. Walked in and paid one off 6 months. The other one, I paid it off in advance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm going to get me a house. I got a house, and it's a 3-story house. I don't need a mansion right now. And if I decide I want one, I'm going to speak that and I'm going to get it too. You know what I'm saying? I said I wanted to be an actor on TV. I got on Wild 'N Out. I said I don't want to have to ever want for anything. Hey, thank you, Jesus. I'm not wanting for nothing. Everything I speak, and it didn't come, like I said, it didn't come in 2 weeks, 3 months. I started in 2014. It is 2021, and I've made it to this place now. So it didn't come in a couple of years, a few years. Baby, I waited several years, and I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I didn't give up. And I'm going to repeat it again. I didn't give up. No matter how long it takes. I had to let go. And like you said, I had to let go of a couple of friends. My friends will tell you, Daryl and Bobby back in the day, and Rashad, I don't know if they watching me now. They will tell you, I had to walk away from them. It wasn't because, and Woody, I love all y'all, but I had to walk away. I had to walk away from some friends, because at that point in our life, I just feel like our plans were in different places. You know what I'm saying? Now we're all doing good. But at that moment, they were still young to me. We were young-minded. And I said, I want more. I want better. And it doesn't mean I didn't love my friends. It didn't mean I hated my friends. You know what I'm saying? I just had to separate myself to find myself. So now I can get the blessings that were supposed to shower on myself. You know what I'm saying? And now where I got where I wanted to be, I went back to my friends. And a real friend is going to understand, girl, I get it. You had to get yourself together. Okay. So, and they're not going to look at you and say, oh, you think you better than me, or, oh, you think you this, or, oh, you fake because you left us. No, my real friend's going to understand, child, my friend wanted better. And I did. I got better. My friend's better now. He got a real estate agent. My other friend, I don't know what my friend do, child, but I know he got a good job, because every other week he on a cruise ship going somewhere doing something. So I know he good. My other friend's a manager, so it's just like, child, we are all good. So it's just like, like you said, sometimes you got to be alone to find yourself. And it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be by yourself. It is okay to just, it gets a little lonely. It gets a little sad. But when you know your goal and you know what you have set for yourself, you go out and you do it, and you stay focused and you stay persistent, and you go get it. And I promise you, the ones who don't receive it is because you gave up and you weren't consistent and you didn't believe. You can't even let a mustard seed of doubt in, okay? You can't. Whew. But all right. I love you guys. I don't ever show my face because, sometimes I don't like to show my face because I feel like I can speak more and I can think better when I'm just y'all ain't looking at me. Because I tell y'all, I'm such an introvert and I'm so shy. So I feel like when I turn around, I feel like y'all looking dead in my face. So I get a little nervous. But I love you guys. I love you. 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 And even if you don't have a boyfriend or your girlfriend cheated or your mom and dad turned their back on you, aunties, uncles, friends, if I don't love you, God loves you. I promise. Even if you don't believe in him, whatever power you believe in, higher power, as long as its directions goes to love and treating people right, whatever you believe in, just knows the energy loves you and you're not alone. Don't ever think you're alone because you're not. It is okay to cry. It is okay to be hurt. It is okay to struggle. It is okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to get no's. It's okay to mess up. Like he said, nobody is perfect. We're not perfect. We all made mistakes. We've all done stuff that we fell short to the glory of God. Everybody has. So that's why when they said, Zoe, you need a woman, that is what you think. Whatever mine and God relationship is, that's something me and him got to talk about. Like they talk about Jamal every time I show him. Oh, he committed adultery. He got kids everywhere. That's something he had to go through to figure out where he is today. Now, if he's still doing it now, that's something he has to worry about with God, not us, because everybody has something that God is not happy with or that we have to fix. So while you over here trying to point fingers and talk about somebody else's skeletons and they wrongs, child, you over here doing the same thing. Wrong. Wrong is wrong. And it don't matter if it's a little wrong, a big wrong, a medium wrong, I'm thinking about it wrong. It's wrong. So just worry about yourself, fix yourself, better yourself, and that is all you need to do. So stop pointing fingers at people because you may not have committed wrong now, but that wrong gonna happen somewhere down the line. And you never know. You talking about somebody else's wrong, your wrong might be so big that you may not even know how to get up out of it. And it ain't because you did it. It's just because sometimes, baby, karma is real. And you spoke that on yourself. So I don't ever talk about nobody because I don't know what decision I might make tomorrow that just don't make the world happy. Just try to live your best. Okay? All right, y'all. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. My mouth a little dry. Need me a little water. All right. I love y'all. And I'm about to go. I'm going to let it catch up. So I know Instagram goes a little slow. So it's going to probably get quiet. But I'm going to let it catch up so y'all can hear it all. And I'm going to go. All right. Bye, y'all.
That's in the video. If you enjoyed, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. I hope y'all actually got something from this service. I'm really happy that Zoe shared this with us because this message was really amazing. But guys, remember that God loves you. You're never alone. Make sure y'all tell me if you enjoyed these services and you want me to continue posting them because I really do enjoy them. That's the end of the video, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all. Peace.